Transported to a mysterious planet by a force beyond the universe, the mightiest superheroes and supervillains have been gathered to fight the ultimate war on this strange world called Battleworld. The heroes face their first battle as the conflict begins. Marvel Superhero Secret Wars Volume 1, Issue 2, Prisoners of War. On the surface of Battleworld, a planet created by the Beyonder, the heroes gathered by this godlike being are attacked by villains. He is also brought there. The villains, armed with weapons found in a fortress, manage to launch a surprise attack. Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, shouts, "We're under attack." Wolverine is excited as the battle begins, while Cyclops warns, "Heads up, this is it," Captain America declared. The leader of the heroes commands, "Avengers assemble! Form a wedge. I'll take the point." He stands surrounded by Cyclops, Thor, Human Torch, Captain Marvel, Thing, Iron Man, She-Hulk, Colossus, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Hulk, Nightcrawler, and Reed Richards. The villains choose to attack the heroes, eager to claim the gifts promised by the Beyonder, anything they desire. The villains are led by Kang, Nathaniel Richards, and include Absorbing Man, Dr. Octopus, Enchantress, Lizard, Molecule Man, and the Wrecking Crew. Piledriver, Thunderball, Bulldozer, and Wrecker. Piledriver and Bulldozer man the powerful cannons, which have stunned the heroes with massive blasts, boosting the Wrecking Crew's power to match the heroes. Dr. Octopus realized they must hit the heroes with everything they have, hoping the Beyonder's technology will tip the odds in their favor. Captain America tells Hulk, "Buy us 2 seconds to regroup." Hulk understands the danger as Colossus is knocked out and Lockheed steps in to help. Captain America sees the villains' attack is uncoordinated and says, "We have a chance. Attack and take out those guns." Hulk tries to buy the hero some time by lifting a strange rock to throw, but he gets blasted, causing the rock to scatter as the heroes duck for cover. Mr. Fantastic shields some fallen heroes, including Professor X, Rogue, and Hawkeye, as the villains completely catch them off guard. The villains press the attack using the special guns to keep firing at the heroes. Kang calls out, "Watch our flank, Absorbing Man. Be ready for a counterattack." He says victory isn't certain until all the heroes are defeated, especially without Doctor Doom on their side. Kang regrets having to attack Doom's ship last issue, but now he used a powerful weapon to blast Iron Man, James Rhodes. Unaware of Kang, elsewhere, Doctor Doom flies across the landscape, recalling how they arrived. An unknown being called the Beyonder summoned them all, saying, "I am from behind. Defeat your enemies, and all you desire shall be yours. Nothing you dream of is beyond my power." Galactus, impatient, demanded the Beyonder cure the hunger to consume the worlds, with Doom following him, but Galactus was swatted down like a fly. Doom had hoped to unite the villains to overthrow the Beyonder and claim his power, but Kang shot him down. When the heroes, led by Captain America, tried to help Doom, he saw it as pity and refused to appear weak. Doom finds Galactus, who had tried to attack the Beyonder only to cast him down to Battleworld's surface. Doom tries to get Galactus' attention, but the World Devourer simply rises and walks away, ignoring him as if he were nothing more than an insect. With his plan to ally with Galactus failed, Doom moves to his backup plan. He returns to the villain's massive fortress, blasts through the security defenses, that enters where Ultron's inert body is being stored. Dr. Doom says, "It seems my earthbound allies have launched a reckless attack and the so-called heroes. Here lies the inert body of the mad robot Ultron, who was taken down by Galactus when we arrived. Perhaps this invincible adamantium body can be revived and prove useful if my allies return at all." Doom is planning and scheming. At the battle site, the heroes regroup following the plan to build a front line. Captain America shields many laser blasts coming through and sets up against the villains. Thor slams his hammer down, knocking down Kane, the Lizard, Thunderball, and the Wrecker. Hulk then takes down Bulldozer, Piledriver, and the mechanical machine by breaking one of its legs. Hulk still has Bruce Banner's brains, but is slowly losing control, showing increased agitation, especially when given orders other than by Captain America. Cyclops compliments the Hulk as he finishes off the mechanical machine with an optic blast. Just then, She-Hulk sneaks up behind Enchantress, but Enchantress smacks her aside, telling her to back off. She-Hulk gets up saying, "Hey, you're strong." Enchantress replies, "I'm an Asgardian goddess. I could crush you with my fist like the slug you are, but touching creatures like you disgusts me. Why should an immortal mistress of sorcery dirty her hands?" She-Hulk does not hold back against the Enchantress, hitting her so hard that she knocks her out. The villains retreat, and Thor says, "The battered remnants of the enemy forces are fleeing. Captain America, shall we pursue them?" Captain America replies, "No, Thor, let them go. It's best not to get scattered. We need to consolidate our positions, and we have prisoners to worry about." They manage to capture Enchantress, Kang, Bulldozer, Piledriver, and Thunderball as prisoners of war. The heroes seek shelter and find an abandoned fortress to detain their prisoners in stasis. While exploring the facility, Colossus realizes that Lockheed is missing from the battle and thinks about how upset his girlfriend Kitty Pryde would be if they don't return with the little dragon. Lockheed went missing during the battle but reappears in Marvel's Superhero Secret Wars issue 12 with another dragon called Puff. After the villains are contained, the heroes look around and are surprised to find the fortress meets all their needs but is completely abandoned. Captain America says he is satisfied there is no immediate danger and tells everyone to gather in the large dome they discovered on the 452nd level. At the meeting, Captain America says they won the first skirmish but not the war. Not by a long shot. Wolverine then asks why they are just sitting here and suggests they should go out and win it already. Captain America replies that they first need to find out where all their enemies are. It's a big planet, and Galactus, Doctor Doom, the Molecule Man, Doctor Octopus, the Wrecker, the Absorbing Man, and Magneto are still out there. Each of them is too dangerous to take lightly. They have an advantage now, so they shouldn't waste it. Wolverine calls Captain America nuts, and Captain America instructs Iron Man and the Human Torch to patrol the fortress perimeter in a spiral pattern to ensure they have a secure area with a 100-mile radius. The rest of them will take turns on watch. Captain America needs two teams, one to check for suitable quarters and another to find a mess hall and food if there is any. The Human Torch questions if Captain America is handling everything right, while Iron Man thinks he is doing just fine. Elsewhere on Battleworld, the mutant Magneto has found his own base of operations at another fortress. As he looks over the alien landscape, Magneto wonders if anyone else shares his sense of destiny about the events that are about to unfold. He thinks about how strange and bizarre his alien world is and reflects on the fate of all existence hanging in the balance. He wonders if the others feel the same sense of destiny he feels. Not long ago, he would never have thought that an ordinary man could share the same feelings with someone from a superior race. Magneto is surprised to think of what he has in common with non-mutants. The bizarre circumstances he and others find themselves in apparently helps the long-term mutant terrorists continue the reformation mentioned in Avengers 234 that culminates in Uncanny X-Men 200. Meanwhile, the uncaptured villains return to their hideout to find Doctor Doom waiting for them. Still thinking he is a traitor for abandoning them instead of fighting the heroes, the villains are about to attack when they are suddenly blasted aside by Ultron, who has been reactivated and reprogrammed to be loyal to Doctor Doom. Outgunned, the remaining villains have no chance but to follow Doom and accept him as leader. Doctor Doom then begins flattering the Molecule Man, who is one of the most powerful among them. When Dr. Octopus gets Doom's attention on Galactus, they bring up a monitor screen showing Galactus standing at the top of a peak, glowing with energy. Doom assures Octopus that plans are in motion for the triumph and tells Octavius to rest. Octopus complies but suspects that Doom will eventually betray them. He thinks to himself that something tells him Doom has ambitions that go beyond merely winning the contest. The question is whether Doom will destroy them in the process or right after achieving his goals. Later, as night falls over the hero's fortress, a long figure rides magnetic lines of force to approach silently. No barrier can stop his sheer magnetic powers, stops the triggering of alarms and opens portals from within. Magneto moves through the sleeping complex thinking how convenient it is that this world has nights and days like Earth. She-Hulk and the Wasp talk about the things they left behind on Earth, while Cyclops and Mr. Fantastic express sadness about being separated from their wives. Spider-Man and the Human Torch spend time together. Reed mentions how the Beyonder fixed things like giving Professor X a wheelchair when they were first taken last issue, even though Xavier has regained the use of his legs in Uncanny X-Men issue 167. Cyclops shares that he has taken during his honeymoon. This is another example of the Beyonder fixing things. Cyclops had recently married Madeline Pryor in Uncanny X-Men 175 and left the X-Men for their honeymoon in Uncanny X-Men 176. While most heroes were drawn to Beyonder's construct in Central Park, Cyclops was abruptly taken while with Madeline frightened his new bride. Cyclops feels cheated of happiness. After the Shi'ar kidnapped his parents, he grew up in an orphanage until Xavier found him. Though Cyclops has reunited with his grandparents, father and brother, and considers the X-Men his second family, his long-term love, Jean Grey, seemingly killed herself in X-Men issue 137. Cyclops left the X-Men hoping to start a new life with Madeline. Reed Richards worries about his wife, Susan, who is about to give birth to their second child, as shown in Fantastic Four issue 265. Ben is concerned about his girlfriend, Alicia Masters, whom he has been dating since Fantastic Four issue 9. However, at this time, he has been reconsidering the relationship during the events of Thing issue 2 to 10. Magneto thinks to himself that it will be easy to manipulate the flux of the fusion generator, creating an impending disaster. This diversion should draw most of the heroes here, making it simple to achieve his goal. Meanwhile, Spider-Man and Johnny Storm continue their conversation. Spider-Man worries about never getting home, but Johnny has traveled off-world many times, believes they will return. Suddenly, Spider-Man senses tingle, and they notice something happening at the power plant. Spider-Man decides to check on the situation while the Human Torch signals for reinforcements by sending up the iconic Fantastic Four signal in the sky. When the other heroes arrive, Spider-Man has been trapped in a metal ball and thrown out, and all the heroes combined are no match for Magneto. Magneto uses the machinery to attack any heroes that approach. He thinks to himself that things are not going as planned, but it doesn't matter because they will hold the heroes until he finishes his business. As Magneto dumps machinery on them and escapes, the Wasp tries to chase him down. Magneto responds by wrapping her in metal and capturing her. The Thing breaks free and tries to pursue their enemy, but suddenly changes back into his human form, surprising everyone. Ben says, "Oh no, I've changed from the Thing back to plain Ben Grimm." But how? Why? Moments later, the rest of the heroes escape from the machinery. Mr. Fantastic asks Ben, "You're human again." Ben Grimm replies, "Don't ask me, Stretch. It just happened. I'm human again." She-Hulk says, "It took us too long to get out of that mess." Magneto's gone with the Wasp. Captain Marvel adds, "I guess that settles whose side he's on. I hope everyone noticed that none of the X-Men showed up to fight him." Captain America responds, "Let's focus on solving problems, not creating more." Then Hawkeye asks, "Are we going after him or what?" Captain America replies, "We have other troubles too, Hawkeye. From what Dr. Banner and I discovered using their sensor screens, we can't go after Magneto right now because we're going to have our hands full here very soon." They pull up an image of Galactus, who looks ready to devour the world. Next, Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars Volume 1, Issue 3, The Crisis Within.